thank you for joining for this live stream. And this is yet again Sunday Chat. I hope you're all doing absolutely amazingly. I am not at home at the moment, so I'm hoping this sounds okay and the sound's actually coming out. Yet again, we're just going to chat and see what's going on in the world and what you want to chat about. And anything at all, you can ask any questions at all. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into what's going on in the world currently, as I always do. That will assist you to understand more what is essentially occurring in this now moment, to assist yourself to heal or connect in a way that would benefit you and those around you. So I hope you're doing absolutely amazingly, all of you. Just wait for you all to come in. Hi, it's wonderful to see you, Amanti. How are you? Any questions at all, guys? It's Sunday Chat. We can chat about absolutely anything. There's a lot going on at the moment, obviously. There's a lot going on, especially in the US. But I've been talking about the US for months now, and especially with the US and what's going on. Now you're beginning to see exactly what I was saying maybe 3-4 months ago, where the US is going to be giving over to China. And now you're beginning to see that merge, what you'll see over the next 10-15 years. And this could still change, but on current timelines in this now, the US is going to merge with China, and China's going to begin to be given to the US. So essentially, China will take over the US. And that's exactly what's planned. And that's the change of the guard, essentially. That's the change of the systems. They want the Chinese social credit system in. They want CBDs. They want to get rid of cash, money. And they want the exact control system that China has, but in a more extreme way. So you're looking at smart cities and stuff. That's why they've wiped out California, is for a smart city. But it's also to test how easy it is to manipulate the public into, just going along with things yet again. The reason why they're doing the USA first, as I've said maybe 2 months ago, is because the US are the most easily manipulated country on the planet. They just lay down and take anything pretty much. So therefore, that's why they're going for the US first. And obviously, they've specifically gone for Hollywood because at the same time, they can, burn ready for the smart cities and the Chinese merger. They can at the same time erase any evidence of what Hollywood have been doing. So it's a good way of doing two things at once, and obviously it's all timed. We're living in essentially something that you could call is an illusion, but it's also a planned illusion by those that are here on a subconscious and conscious level. Okay, any information on South Africa? I'm not tuned into South Africa, so give me a session. It's all over the place. It's really, really hard to explain. There's so many timelines at play in South Africa that I can't really tell you anything, because there's just millions flickering. It's like the US has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nearly 6 main timelines. South Africa has none, has no main timelines at all. It is in flux through timelines at the moment. There's no main timeline. So anything could happen. The US, as I've already said, it's either going to be an alien timeline where aliens are attacking, we've got to defend ourselves, bring everyone together, and then, it's going to be a bit like a pandemic, everyone hide in their houses, here comes the alarms, the aliens are coming, this nonsense. Or it's going to be another pandemic, which will be another virus, and yet again the same thing, more control, more trapping. Or as that's going on, it's still going to be for the US to merger with China. That's unstoppable at this point. That's already planned. It's been planned for a long time. But the merger with the rest of the world also is going to come over time. Europe don't really lie down as easy as the US does. The US just, for some reason, the citizens just allow anything. So, Europe don't, even though we've got no guns or anything, we actually do fight back against the government. We fight in the streets and stuff. have mass protests of millions and millions of people and stuff like that. You don't see that in the US. So because the US don't fight back, the US is going to be taken down quite fast. And that's what they're after at the moment. But in terms of South Africa, it's in flux. Once the US crashes, then they'll probably plan for other areas of the world to try and control a bit more. With South Africa, is too much in flux. I can't pinpoint anything that's going to manifest or occur. It's too in flux. US is easy because it's just happening at the moment. If you're more specific, though, I could go into something more specific, but in general, I can't really generalize anything. Okay. How to stay in the frequency of love? Okay, this is... okay, it's choice. I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it is choice. You have to choose to be in the frequency of love. And what I mean by that is when you first get to the frequency of love fully, you'll find parts of you that do not want to connect to it at all, on any level at all. And when you begin to understand the reason why you're not breaking yourself free and you're still incarnating and cycling is because truly you don't want to connect to yourself. That's when you can begin to truly heal your issues with yourself and begin to connect even deeper with the frequency of love. I don't even like saying the frequency of love. The frequency of love is like a system that was created through love, through the energetic fields of polarity, and then it's come all the way down into what we call the experience of reality, third dimensional reality, whatever you want to call it, fifth, sixth, whatever. Frequency of love, I would say the pure essence of love is as you are, and as you connect to the pure essence of love, you become more of who you are. The issue is we all have an issue with ourselves because we have an issue with our neighbor, we have an issue with, I don't know, the TV, or we have an issue with something that is actually us, because everything in creation is us, because we create in that now moment, whether subconsciously or consciously. So when we have an issue with something, it's something deep within that we have an issue with, and you got to find that issue to find more bliss within self. So it's more to do with finding self within and feeling self within, and then pulling yourself out from within into this now moment, becoming love in the now moment. And that's how you stay in the frequency of love. You pull it out of you. It's hiding. It's in you. It's always been there. But you've got to pull it out because you've put it away. You're like, no, I don't want to be love. I want to be human. I want to be a singer. I want to be a dancer. I want to be a teacher. I want to be, I don't know, I want to be a Galactic Federation. I want to be an Ascended Master. I want to be a counselor. You're pushing away who you truly are in order to experience something that you're not. And that's what you've got to go in and connect with and understand why you're doing that. Why are you doing that? And once you understand why you're doing that, then you can deal with that and you can begin to heal and then begin to reconnect to more of who you are. But it takes time because you've got to figure out what your issues are, if that makes sense. Okay, any other questions or anything at all? Hi, Raheem. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kai. It's wonderful to see you again here, Mason, as well. And don't worry about the US. I know some of you are quite worried subconsciously because I can tune into it. What I would suggest, what's going on in the US at the moment is a changeover. They need to change over what's going on in order to track people more. So they need the technology from China. So they're going to merge companies with China. That's why you've just seen the whole fast with TikTok. That's all to make everyone panic and think, oh, we need TikTok, and then want TikTok. And now what they're going to do is they're going to merge with China, and they're going to bring over TikTok to the US as a US company. But the thing is, TikTok is the biggest surveillance company in China in terms of social media. So they're going to bring that surveillance. Have you noticed? You've seen like Facebook and Elon Musk and everyone's beginning to work with the government more because they're going to create a surveillance system through all social medias. Okay? It's going to become like a giant surveillance system. Same as what it is in China. It is a surveillance system in China, and that's what they're going to bring over. You can see it all playing out. It's very logical what's going on. So to think that Trump's going to help you in any way, shape, or form is completely wrong. It's the one to bring in, along with Elon and whoever he brings on board, is the one to bring in the New World Order. That's who's been chosen to bring it in, and that's what he's doing. You know, Elon's trying to take down the, you could say, the shield around the planet at the moment. He's not doing a good job, but he believes he can do it. So let him keep getting on with it, and they're not going to break through it. Not even a 12th dimensional being can break through that, because it's made out of the frequency of love, and they can't break through it because you have to become love to break through it. And they're not going to do it with rockets. It's not going to happen. They believe they can. Let them get on with it. For the US, what I would suggest over the next 10, 15, on current timelines, 20 years, it's down nearly every single timeline. There's going to be more control because the US citizens are allowing it. I would suggest getting some land probably in 5, maybe 10 years' time, just in case shit hits the fan and you've got sort of, you know, some place to go and be on your own land sort of thing. Because they can't just steal land off of you. Very difficult to explain, especially if you're more connected to yourself, and it's getting darker and darker and darker in other areas, which it will do. LA's got darker because of what they're doing now. The smart cities are coming. There's no way of stopping that. It's on every single timeline. It's possible to change, but it's on every timeline at the moment. Yeah. Any other questions? I only said that because I know some of you are worrying. Don't worry. You've just got to really connect to yourself and be aware of what is actually going on. The New World Order is coming, guys. There's no like spiritual beings that are going to come and save you. You know, whatever your guides or whatever the Galactic Federation are telling you is nonsense. Nothing is getting better. It's getting worse, and it's going to get even worse. It is not going to get better. There is no one ascending. No one is ascending. Okay. Ascension essentially is connecting to yourself deep enough to become physical love in this now moment. And when you become physical love in this now moment, you can leave. You don't get ascension by being zapped by energies. It doesn't work that way. That's nonsense. You know, you see some people like Dolores Cannon spent, 50 years talking to guys and spiritual beings in that. Where did that get her? Reincarnated again. We're on the nonsense journey, guys. The only way you can leave this plane of existence is to connect to who you truly are. And that's not a collective thing. It's an individual thing. It's why Jesus did not take his family or his friends or, I don't know, his city or whatever with him. Because it's individual. If they're not willing, if I'm not willing to connect with myself, love, and bring that love into the now and become love in the now, you can't save me. You can't help me. You can't do anything. So these beings that are telling you, oh yeah, you're raising in frequency, you're ascending. It's nonsense. All of it is absolute nonsense. And I know I channeled Galactic Federation every 15, 20 years. It is all nonsense. And this is what you're seeing in the US. The New World Order is coming, and it is coming fast. So all I'm saying, it would take 20, 30 years down all timelines at the moment still. 20, 30 years for it to set in, unless people begin to fight back, but I don't see them fighting back because they're not even now. They're still putting up with it. The US will fall. I'm telling you that. Just so you're aware, it will fall. But it doesn't mean that it gets destroyed. It means it will be taken by essentially darkness. And they will create a system where it's like you're in controlled areas, controlled cities. It's like districts. They want districts. So they want people in certain districts, and you'll have codes, and you'll have like, I can't go too deep into it. You'll have like numbers, and you'll be like stuck in your own district, and you can't really get out of your own district. So I'm getting attacked at the moment. I'm giving you too much truth. That's what's going on. That's what they want. Nothing is changing, guys. It's getting worse. So you got to be aware of that. It's not getting better. The only thing that will get better is you. You can evade anything through self when you connect to self. Okay, you'll know what's going on. That's how I know what's going on. Like, I'm seeing things. I spoke about this months ago to you guys. I said exactly what's going on in the US now as we're seeing it. You're going to see TikTok taken by the US, but still owned by China and the US, and they're going to make a deal, and then they're going to surveillance both countries, and that's the start of the merger between China and the US. And I said they will merge. What will happen as well? They will try and merge, as I said before, about a month ago. They'll try and merge Canada and also the countries underneath, Mexico and a few other countries. They're going to try and merge the whole lot like they have done with the EU. The only thing is the UK, we revolted against the EU, so we didn't join the EU. The government was going to push us into the EU, but 2 million people went out into the streets for like 2-3 weeks and basically said, no, we're not doing it. We're not allowing it. So people fought back and it didn't happen. But yeah, no one's fighting back in the US. That's the issue. So they're just gonna run it through essentially. Yeah. Any more questions? I'm just letting you know what's going on, just in case you listen to some of these channels because they talk nonsense. I listened to a channel this morning by accident. It popped up on my feed. She's like, "Oh, we're sending to 12D. I spoke to the Galactic Federation this morning, and they're gonna come and save us in March 2022." And I'm like, "What? It's nonsense. It is absolute nonsense." And you're gonna hear this. The channels that have been channeling 30, 40, 50 years, are they correct? Are things getting better? Are they truly? Now we can pretend, we can say yes, internally, yes, they can get better for you as an individual. You should get more money, you should get better. But is the world getting better? Is anything changing at all? Is our sending changing? Anything? Is meditating, millions of people meditating, changing anything? No, it's changing nothing. Because the only way you change things is through self. Individually, not collectively, individually. If I connect to love, and you connect to love, and he connects to love, and she connects to love, and we become love, then that gives others a chance to become love. But if no one connects to love, no one has a chance to do anything apart from make stuff up and channel nonsense. So that's where we're at. Okay, I hope that helps. I know I'm being a bit brutal and blunt, but as you can see, things are going very, very quickly now. And as Trump is in there, he's in there to really merge China. That's why I keep saying China. Remember last time he's going China, 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 China. It's all one giant spell. He's telling you what's going to happen. Everything's coming from China. Illnesses are coming from China. Yes. Surveillance is coming from China. Imprisonment's coming from China. Everything's going to come from China. He's not lying. He's telling you exactly what's going on because he has to tell you what's going on. Does this make sense? I was hoping this timeline wouldn't come into fruition. That's why I haven't spoken about it. But I've known about this for about 2 years. But I haven't spoken about it because I was watching the timelines and I was hoping this would not come in. But it is. And it's coming in fast. But that's it. Like with the symptoms, they tell you what's going on. China, China, China. He's telling you. He's telling you all along. But people are thinking, yeah, he's saving you from China. He's not. He's going to give the US to China. You're going to see it. Okay. Is the US under on all timelines? Yes. The US is under on every single timeline because they're allowing it on every single timeline. There's not one timeline where the US doesn't give power and control over to the ones that are controlling. Unfortunately. But that's where it is. But you don't have to. That's the US as a whole. But you don't have to. You don't have to give yourself one. You don't have to. You just connect to yourself and carry on as you are. You don't have to end up in one of these smart cities. You can be outside. They can't force you to get in. They may try. They will try down some timelines, but you don't have to be in them. And this is not scary. This is 20 years down the line. And this is on most timelines 20 years down the line. But I'm telling you now, because you're going to see this unfold, and you're going to see the spiritual community still say we're ascending and we're freeing ourselves, when you're not. You're going to get more and more trapped. So that's what I'm telling you now, because you can't listen to this nonsense anymore, guys. This stuff is in your face. It is being enacted now. The New World Order is being positioned in place now. It's not a joke. There's no one coming from the Galactic Federation to save you. So this is what I'm telling you now. It's important. Okay, so where does one go? Within. Within. Right. When Jesus was alive, he could do anything. Why could he do anything? Why? Because he became who he truly is, who everyone truly is, love. And when you become love, you can do anything because that's who you truly are, and you're no longer in the illusion. So when you become outside of the illusion, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter. And to think Jesus died on the cross is nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. That's programming that is given to every single being before they incarnate. It's like they play a program and insert a program into you before you are born to believe that Jesus died on the cross. He did not die on the cross, just so you're aware. He didn't die because he had full control of who he was, because he became love in human physical form. No one could touch him. So say he died on the cross, and you may have memories of that. It's an implanted memory. It's given to you before you were born. It's given to everyone. So I'm just letting you know you need to connect to yourself, and that's the only important thing. There's nowhere to go. In the US, as I said, this would take maybe 20 years. You need land. In some form, over the next 20 years, even if it's a small piece of land, there's going to be a situation where you can regenerate land with your energies. I know this sounds ridiculous, but during Atlantean times, the Earth had to rebalance herself because it became very, very, very dark. Okay? The Earth does have the power to rebalance herself. How she can do this is through the land. And when you connect to yourself through Gaia and through the land, through love, you begin to rebalance yourself in that area. Therefore, darkness cannot come through into that area as much as it wants in the way that it wants to come through. So land will be important, and it's why the US government is buying all the land and taking all the farms and taking everything, because they are fully aware. They know. They're not stupid. They've seen this before. They saw it thousands of years ago. They're aware. Okay, Debbie, I've just said this a minute ago. So Trump is tasked with creating like a EU system. The way to control the US and that part of the world is to merge them into one country, bring China into it, get all the Chinese social credit system, everything, all the smart cities, all the technology, robots, whatever, and then control entire areas as like districts. That is the control system, essentially. They need to merge more into one. If you're all under one currency, they can get rid of the money easier. They can control you easier. It's just easier. So they'll say, oh, yeah, we want Greenland or whatever for minerals. Technically, yes, but it's more for control. The more area that comes into one area, the easier it is to say, oh, okay, we're going to have one currency now. Oh, we're going to get rid of money. There you are. Oh, you're going to get implant in your arm. There you are. You can only pay with the implant. There you are. And then what you're going to do. That's what's coming. You can see it coming. You can see it happening now. It's down most timelines. This is not to scare you. I was delusioned for years, as many of you are aware. 15 years channeling Galactic Federation, councils, Pleiadians, Arcturians, nonsense. And they were telling me, oh, you're ascending and being freed. You're not. It's nonsense. The only way to free yourself is through self. It's not through some other being in some other timeline or space or reality. It's through you in this now moment. So that's his excuse. He is tasked by, you could say, the ruling elite to acquire as many countries around him as possible so that he can control more. It will be under the rules of saving. It's all under the rules of saving, but it's not saving. None of it is. When you connect to the frequency of love and you begin to understand, this happens time and time again. It happened in Atlantean times. It happened in Lemurian times. It happened in Egyptian times. It happened even before then. It is a cycle that happens over and over and over again. You'll be controlled until you all begin to break and fight back, and then you'll all reset again, and the earth will have to reset because it'll be so imbalanced. And you keep doing this over and over and over and over again, and it is never ending. It is a never ending cycle, and it's what everyone's choosing on a subconscious level. So I hope this helps. Honestly, even I'm looking at lands now because I know they're going to come after land in the UK. They're going to start coming after things in the UK. They're already arresting people for posts now in the UK. If you make a bad post online in the UK, they're put in a law where they can arrest you if you're writing a post online. Honestly, it's going to get worse. The UK people are fighting back. They're putting up surveillance systems all around London and some other cities. People are going out with masks on and cutting them down with like swords. So people are fighting back, but they don't do that in the US. That's why you're all going to drown quite fast in the US. Fast is 20 years. You know, the UK, I'm looking at 30, 40 years at least to get to the point the US is going to get to in 20, 25 years now. Most current timelines. This can always change, but no one's fighting back. This is the issue. And this is going to be worldwide. They want worldwide control, the same as what was in Atlantean times and Egyptian times, until people lose their mind and it resets again. It's the same thing happening over and over again, and it's what Jesus kept trying to warn everyone about. You've got to become love, you've got to connect to yourself. Okay, here we are. If what you're saying is truth, you will emanate that truth through your being. You're just babbling without any kind of vibration. The issue is you can't feel my vibration because you're not in the same frequency. I'm not leading people into delusion. I'm actually giving people an understanding of what's going on now. And I'm giving you a timeline, 20, 25 years, down current timelines. Can lead more people into delusion. Can't make yourself understand. What do you want me to explain more clearly to you? The truth. What do you want me to explain? Wait for him to come back. I'm not delusional. You're going to see this play out. I'm not being delusional. I told you guys this 3 months ago. Nothing But Truth doesn't know that 3 months ago I told you guys everything that is happening now. I told you all. Everything that is happening now, I told you 3 months ago what's going to happen. And it is happening. I'm not making this up. And it is happening. You know, the ones that are telling you, oh, we're all going to be saved by the Galactic Federation. Has that happened? No. So you can, you know, you can say I'm being delusional, but I told you 3 months ago this would happen. And it is happening. So you can say that all you want. Delusions in the eye of the beholder, I guess. I was delusioned for 15 years. One second. I'll answer you in a minute, Lena, actually. Telling me not to even answer. There's no point answering that guy. Okay. Good, Lena. Yes, meditation. Okay, you connected with a part of yourself in the past, but at the same time, what you're doing is you're merging yourself in this now. So let me explain this. From the point of view of love, you are beginning to love yourself more, Lena. For many years and even lifetimes, you haven't loved yourself enough to be able to connect with that which you are. And in this now, you're becoming more You're becoming more love of that which you are in this now moment. Therefore, you're opening, Lena, to yourself. And that's all you need to do. Even if you listen to me, you don't need to open to me. You need to open to yourself. It's always about self. And that's what you're doing, Lena. That's fantastic. Just keep going. Keep connecting with self. Keep understanding that you are, you could say, I wouldn't say, how could I put this? You are always one with self, but you've disillusioned yourself so much that you don't believe that you are one with self and you don't want to be one with self. So when you become one with self more, that's a good thing because you're finally allowing yourself to be who you truly are. And that's the best thing to do. I hope that helps. Hi, Darren. It has been a very, very long time. To do with land, Darren, honestly, there is no best place, nowhere, because everywhere on Earth at the moment, subconsciously, is allowing this new world order to come in. Every single person on Earth, subconsciously. Many have given up. Many are just like, oh, this has happened before. Here we go again, and don't really care. Others are like, yeah, this is great. It's just the way it is. If you look at things from a subconscious level, on the superconscious level, through the subconscious, so you go through the frequency of love, you're looking at stuff from the superconscious down through the consciousness levels, down into the physical consciousness. The physical consciousness connected to the superconscious systems of this reality space are choosing to bring the new world order in. Everyone is. On a collective level. It's collective. As I said yet again, that's why Jesus left on his own, because collectively no one wanted to leave with him. So there's no best country or best place to go. But you have to just keep connecting with self, fixing self, find a space to self, and just be with self. As I said, this will take 15, 20 years. It may even change. Honestly, guys, this could change in 5 years' time. Everyone could change their mind subconsciously, and everyone could go, right, we don't want it anymore. And it could change instantly. If everyone wasn't choosing to have this, it would not occur. It can't occur. Something cannot occur unless you're choosing it on a collective level, especially if it's a collective thing or it's on a mass scale. So, for instance, if you have, I don't know, 2 million people meditating for peace on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, then 2 million people don't want peace. You're not going to get peace because the subconscious, superconscious will override 95% of what the conscious mind is choosing. Does that make sense? So, in terms of at this moment in time, I'll keep telling you what's going to happen as things unroll, and hopefully they will change. As I did 3 months ago, I'm going to keep telling you over and over again what is happening before it happens. With that knowledge, you should be in an understanding where you can connect with yourself more, allow yourself to connect even deeper, and know what is best for you in that now moment. I can't even tell you what's best for you because you're still in a different timeline to me, separately from what I'm in this now, but at the same time collectively in a timeline that we are choosing as a collective. If that makes sense. So this may not even occur, but as I said, what I told you 3 months ago is occurring. It's happening. I don't make this stuff up. I look at the timelines. If it happens, it happens. If the timelines change, they change. But yeah, I can't make this stuff up because I keep telling you it, and it happens. Okay. So during these times, what should we be? Self. Mason, you need to go into self. So even now, for you, you have a block on your heart chakra that does not allow you to connect with self. You put it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 45, 6, 7, 9. About 46,000 years ago. Is this years? Lifetimes. 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 About 46,000 lifetimes ago, you created a system that is still there, embedded into your heart chakra, into your heart chakra system, that stops you from fully connecting with yourself. Now, if you look at this system and you spend time understanding what this system is that you've placed there, if you remove this system, you're going to blast open. That system stops you from opening, and you put it there to stop yourself from opening through fear. You were being tortured at the time, and you didn't want your energies being taken. This is actually Pleiadian, just outside of the Pleiadian system, on a planet just outside of the Pleiadian system. Blue. It's like a blue planet just outside of the Pleiadian system. Um, I don't know. I don't know the name to it. It's got an unhuman name, but if you break that system off from your heart chakra, you will open massively, and that's what you should focus on. Focus on self and that system. Why you put that system there? Don't be harsh on yourself, because you've done it for a reason. Okay, I can't stay much longer. I'll answer a few more questions. Oh, okay. Could be translated that in the human one. Doesn't really matter, anyways. Shining Star just keeps saying nah, nah. Nothing but truth as well. You guys can keep connecting. You can keep doing whatever you're doing. That's fine. Do what you want. I wish you the best always. Yeah, sorry about the babies in the background. They're tired at this time of night. You know, it's bedtime, and I'm actually in a hotel at the moment. We're away from home. We're traveling, so we're not at home. And yeah, it's because they're not in their own bed. It's a little bit not the best time to go live. That's why I'm going to drop off in a minute. Congratulations on your grandchild as well, Trixie. Congratulations. Yeah, I apologize about the noise, guys. Okay, how many different consciousness are we operating from? Technically from love, but they're not. How can I explain this? Okay. Trying to think what's best to explain. Okay, let me explain again. So, as love, you could say love through oneness. Oneness got bored. Let me explain it. So, oneness got bored of being oneness. Wanted to be not oneness, wanted to be separate and experience itself as something that it's not. So, from oneness, you split off through the frequency of love into separate parts of creation, begin to create what you would call polarity, the illusional spaces, the illusional realms of creation, begin to create realms, systems, realities, and then it went into universes, more realms, you know, more systems, more realities, planets, whatever. And then begin to experience yourself on and as all parts of that which we're not. So when you go through that, many things have been created, like the subconscious, superconscious, that exists in this universe. It exists in a few other universes. It does not exist in all. I've been through several universes where the superconscious, subconscious system does not exist. I've been through a few systems also where certain things in this universe do not exist. Systems are different. They're more fluid. They don't exist as they are. The rules are different. Things are vastly different. It depends what realm, what universe, what system you're within, as to what different consciousness states you're operating from. Say if you come from a system that operates more subconsciously, you're going to be going through many different subconscious states of operating. Some would be more system based, more mechanical, and they'll run through systems because they got a system based sort of universal system that they come from. You get many different versions of consciousness that you could be operating from, but in truth, you should only be operating from love. So you need to backtrack through all the illusion of that which you're not into the frequency of that which you are, and begin to break yourself free from that which you are not. So it's really hard to explain different consciousness states without showing you, because you've all got different consciousness states. Does that make sense? Okay, Darren. Hey, bro. Nice to see you. Okay, much love, Camille. Much love, everyone who's here. Okay, if all our versions of self, that wouldn't happen, Lena, unfortunately. Hard to explain. We split so much. So say we split from the frequency of love, right? So you split from the frequency of love, because I've seen this myself when I split out of the frequency of love. When you split out of the frequency of love, you split into trillions and trillions. It's not even trillions. It's an unknown number of parts of self. Okay, then parts of self create universes, systems, planets, whatever. You've gone off so far away from where we are on Earth that even if I was to connect to every version of self in this universe and merge with and cooperate with all versions of self in this universe, the versions of self far out in other systems and universes may not want what I want still, because they're still now individualized. You see, Jesus merged with all that he could merge with as love, and then began to lead as love, but had enough of that love in order to lead. You don't need to merge with everything in order to become you. You just need enough understanding of who you truly are to become that which you truly are. Does that make sense? Because we're so fragmented, trillions and trillions of versions, we're so fragmented, and we're telling each other the same, well, not the same, but different versions of the same nonsense. For instance, especially in this universe, we say we gotta learn. Oh, you're gonna reincarnate to learn, or you gotta make your way up the dimensional levels, and at the top you can sit on a nice council, and you can see people on the council, or and we've created all these areas of control and experience that we need to bring ourselves back into balance with self in order to truly break free. My best way to word this sort of thing, it's very difficult to word unless you experience this yourself. Until you've been outside of polarity and into the true essence of love yourself, when you've left behind polarity and you're not in any of the universes, nothing, and you're looking at all the universes, all the systems within polarity, until that point, it's very difficult to explain to you in an easy way. You need to experience this yourself so it makes sense. It's hard to explain. And even then, me explaining to you is not as good. Anyway, it's nowhere near as good as you seeing yourself. You need to experience this stuff yourself. And you'll get there if you keep connecting with self. And you keep understanding that you only need self. You don't need me. You don't need the Arcturian version. You don't need Robert. You don't need Bashar. You don't need, you don't need anyone. You need you. You need yourself. Because what's going to happen is all these other channels and people, they're just going to channel for the next 40, 50 years. New World Order is going to continue. And then they're going to end up dying and just reincarnating again. And then they're a baby again and they're stuck in the New World Order. And then what? It's not changing, guys. Nothing is changing. This is what I'm getting at. You see these channels that are channeled for 50, 60 years going to continue to channel the same nonsense. And nothing is going to change. It's going to get worse. And then what? They're going to continue, though, because they've done it for so long, they can't stop. some I can see many that have been channeling Galactic Federation that for 10, 15 years may stop within the next few years once they realize these smart cities are coming in and popping up everywhere. They're going to begin to question what is going on. You know, why is it not changing? There you are. It takes time to, you know, get over the listening to the guides. Don't listen to your guides. Listen to yourself in this now. You need to go into self. When I say self in this now, I mean literally self. When you go into self, your true essence is within self. And when you connect with that true essence, oh, it knows everything. It knows about every version of you. It knows about every system you've been in. It knows about every trauma you've got. It knows everything. If I go to a Pleiadian version of self, that Pleiadian version of self knows about the Pleiades, knows about Earth, knows about the universe, maybe a little bit beyond. It doesn't really know everything. Do you get what I mean? You need to be with self in this now, you in this now, because you know everything. Other versions of you don't know everything. They've got no clue, and half of them don't want to know. Because if you've sat on a council for 20,000 years and you don't want to go into the frequency of love, then, you know, why are we listening to beings that are not going back to where they came from? Anyways, I'm going to have to get going in a minute because the babies need to go to sleep. But I wanted to come on to let you all know that things for you, in essence, will get better if you connect with self. You have to keep connecting with self and allowing self to be at one with self, and things will get better for you. But I'm keeping you updated on what's going on still.
So, if they were to check back and see how everyone's doing stuff, what haven't they been with themselves? Why do they have
it's a cycle, babe. I know. Okay, so what Jojo's saying is, wait there. What Jojo is saying is, if you look back through time, why are we still here and why is everyone still trapped?
They have
essentially.
Like,
yeah, if
why are they still here?
well, no. Let me give you an example. I said this in another recording. Okay, so I had a friend who channels. Okay, I don't discriminate against channels, but I'm just telling you they channel nonsense. They're channeling what other parts of them or other beings believe, and it's not what they truly know or who they truly are. You need to channel yourself in order to truly get the truth. So, so I've got a friend who channels, been channeling 15, 20 years, still channels. A guide said to me one day, this was a few months ago, no, I think about 4 or 5 months ago, said, oh, we've got an urgent message. Well, she said, I've got an urgent message. And I said, I don't really want to hear it. I don't really listen to guides because they got their own beliefs, whatever. They're still stuck with him. They haven't left. So, you know, I'd rather connect myself outside of polarity, and then I know what's going on through all versions of self instead of connecting with this version that's still trapped within polarity. Anyways, she said, oh, no, it seems really urgent. So I said, okay, channel it then. And it was like a warning of, oh, this is going to happen to you and that's going to happen to you. And, you know, this is going to go bad and you must do this, otherwise this is going to happen. And I was like, I was connected at the time to myself. So I'd gone quite deep within myself and I connected. And myself was going, no, this is their illusion, their disillusion of self. And they're pushing their disillusion of self onto you. So this being they were channeling, it was an Arcturian being through the Pleiades. So it's Pleiadian technically, but an Arcturian living on the Pleiades system, one of our guides anyways. And I was like, okay, so if you believe all this, and Love said to me, tell this version of her, this guide, to connect with love. And guide her outside of polarity to love and see what happens. This being point blank refused to go anywhere near love. Zero. Would not go anywhere near it. And in the end, basically, all I said was, we can guide you now into the frequency of love. Would you like to go? And then you'll be able to see a more expanded view. Said no. Straight up said no. I offered again, walked away. I said, well, there's your guide. That is your guide. Doesn't want to go anywhere near love at all. Zero, nothing. Why is this guy, why are you listening to this guy that's guiding you that doesn't want to be who they truly are? Why? Because everyone's doing that. If the guides were connecting to who they truly are, they would not be here. They would be in the frequency of love outside of polarity. They would not be connecting with you unless you connect with them outside of polarity. They would not be connecting with you on the Pleiades or in a council or on another planet outside of everything in the frequency of love where there's only love and only that which you truly are. And that's the truth. And you'll begin to learn this more and more as you connect with self. Any being that you connect with that is within polarity is not connected with the frequency of love fully, but you can. And that puts you, you could say, I wouldn't say more advanced or more higher, but it puts you in a position where you can be as Yeshua was love in physical form, and then you'd be beyond any being, even in the 12th dimensional reality, because they're still illusioning themselves to believe they're a council or like 12D council or something when they're not. In the frequency of love, there's no councils. None. There's nothing but love. It's all love. Everyone experiences as one, as love. They don't experience themselves as a council or as a car or as a planet or whatever. That's only them experiencing themselves as that which they're not, and that's polarity. So anything outside of that which you're not cannot truly see what you are because they don't want to see. I hope that helps. I'm going to have to drop off because, as I said, the babies need to go to sleep and we're not at home. The rest of the session go. And I really appreciate you all. Come next time, ask questions. I will try my best to help you. Any major timelines I see, I will come on live and I will tell you. And this is not to scare you. I'm just literally trying to give you an understanding of what is truly going on. Because everyone else is just going to tell you nonsense, honestly. You're going to hear that you're still ascending. But if you're still ascending, why is New World Order still coming? Why is it getting worse? It's been 60 years. I had a friend who was channeling for 60 years before she died. 60 years before she died. And that entire 60 years, she died at 71. Wasn't channeling for 60 years, maybe 40 years. That entire 40 years, she channeled that the Galactic Federation was going to come and save us. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the Galactic Federation coming to save us? Why are they not landing now, coming to save us? I know free will. Well, free will. It can only come when we all want and we all ask. No one's going to want, no one's going to ask. They can't come through anyways because of the firmament. Yeah, I always forget the name. I call it the shield because it's basically a frequency of love shield around the planet. That's why they can't break through it. It's why Elon Musk keeps sending his rockets to try and blow a hole in it, but he's not doing a good job. Because they want to get to other planets, they want to escape. The only way through is through time portals, and time portals are unstable because time's unstable. That's why they don't use time portals that much, because they're unstable, and the government knows they're unstable, and therefore, because they're unstable, they don't really like using them because you could end up anywhere in time, and you can end up lost, or without your hair, or without your head, or you could end up dead. Time portals are quite they're gnarly. You can't structure time in a way that is stable. You can stable it to a point through time, but it can't be fully stable because anyone can mess with time at any moment in time, and therefore timelines are fully, you could say, changing in that now moment, always in that now moment. So, trying to explain it in some physical way, it's very hard to explain. Time is an illusion, but it's not. It's a system brought in by beings many aeons ago, and it's used as a way to connect and communicate through time. And time will become more apparent as things keep going. You begin to understand what they do with time and what's going on with time. What time is a program, it's a mess, it's something that you can begin to overcome. You can begin to step out of time when you become become yourself, because time is a program. And therefore, if you become love, love is not a program, it's outside of programs. Therefore, if you become love, there is no time within your reality. You create your reality in that time, in that now moment. But at the moment, we're on a collective timeline because that's what the collective wants and uses time as collectively. Subconscious collectively. Okay, I hope that makes some sort of sense. Right, I'm going to have to get going, but I will be doing more lives. As I said, there's just a lot going on at the moment. But just keep an eye on, things that are going on. Everything is logical, guys. You don't need to make things all woo-woo and funny like I used to make them, like, beams of light are coming down, stuff like that. On a physical level, things are very, very logical. Very. And I've had to learn this myself. I've had to get my brain around it. What you're seeing unrolling is in fact unrolling. There's no like, oh, this is happening because we're ascending, it's rebalancing. No, it's happening because this is what everyone's choosing on a subconscious level, and it's what everyone wants. It's got nothing to do with anyone ascending or anything going on with anyone. Yes, Jackie is correct, and I'm going to end it with that. You are your own savior, and it's exactly what Jesus meant, and it's exactly what he knew. That's why he didn't take anyone with him, as I keep saying, because only you can save yourself, and if you don't want to save yourself, there's nothing anyone can do. You can't get beamed up by a beam of light. You can end up in another realm or reality, but that doesn't free you because you'll be trapped in that realm of reality within polarity still under some sort of system. Welcome to the Galactic Federation. You're on the starship, blah blah blah. Oh, I'm the captain of the ship. Here are my shipmates. It's the same. It's never ending. It's yeah. I hope that helps. Anyways, much love and light to you all. Oh, the light's just gone off as well. Okay, I'm going to end the stream now. I will do a healing next time. Well, not a healing, a guided meditation to self that will bring you to your own self and your own energies. I'll do that in the next session. Okay, much love and light to you all. Take care of self and just keep going. Okay, keep connecting with self. There's a lot of change that's going to happen. So just keep connecting with self. That's right. Bye.